Okay guys, I'm going to show you today how to check the oil in your lower unit. Today we're looking at a Honda 200. This is your lower unit. It's sitting straight up and down so that we can check the oil in it. You have 3 fins right here in a row, and between these last 2 fins there's a little screw right here, and it says fill level, and that's your oil level that rises up to here. You actually have to pump it in from the bottom if you need to add any. We're going to take the screw out, which I've already loosened it up so we can take it out easily. Okay, screws out. And we're going to visibly check to see if we can see any fluid coming out. And the way we have to fill this thing up, we have to pump fluid up from the bottom and make it come out of the top. You cannot fill it from the top and push it down. It does not work. So what I'm going to do to ensure that our lower unit is full of oil, I took the cap off. I'm going to put this screw back on and tighten it back up. I'm going to raise our lower unit up. And hopefully we have a good visual on that. But I wanted you to see where our lower unit bolt is. It's all the way under the bottom of the boat, or under the bottom of the motor here. And what you're going to need a big screwdriver. You're going to need some lower unit oil. Make sure you get the right kind of oil for your motor. And this comes, you have to buy a kit. Kit comes with a hose that attaches to your quart of lubrication. Now, it says right here, oil drain. Your oil drain nut is right here on the bottom. We put this nut on the top so that oil would not come out. It serves as a little device so our oil will not come out. And these bolts are very tight. When you put a screwdriver on it, a lot of times you have to get a little bit of help. In this case, I got a crescent wrench to break the tension on it. I'm going to screw this out. When I screw this out, I'm going to replace it very quickly with this little hose here so that we don't lose any oil. Okay, alright, there we go. And you see oil started coming out, but we only lost a little bit. Now, I'll tighten it all the way up. I'm going to let the motor back down. Okay, I'll let the motor back down. Hopefully you can see what we're doing here. Put my little plug up there. Now we're going to take the top plug back out. We got to take the top plug back out so that oil can come out the top whenever it's full. So we just take our little can and we start pumping. And I see oil coming out of the can now. It's going into our lower unit. I'm just pumping nice, slow, and easy. And what we're going to watch for is oil to come out of the top here. When the oil comes out of the top, we know it's full. Okay, now I see oil coming out of the top. You see the oil coming out? It's dripping a little bit, and so it's found its way all the way out. So now what we want to do is just going to let the excess drain out. Hopefully we didn't put too much in there. Let's let it, and we'll wipe away the excess. But we'll put our little fill cap screw right back in at the top up here. And we're going to reverse the process that we did to start with. Just going to tighten up our top screw. And we don't have to get it super tight. We just want it tight enough to seal up. So we got our screw tight. And we're going to raise our motor back up. And this is going to have to be a quick change process again. So we're going to take this tube out with the adapter and everything on it, and wants to stay in there just a little bit too good. And it's kind of slippery because there is oil around it. So I got my little screw ready to be replaced, and it's kind of tricky with the hose and everything, so you gotta kind of have everything ready. So I got my screw in the hole, and of course we lost a little bit of oil, and that is to be expected. Gonna lose an itty bit. But when my oil came out of the top of the motor, it was all nice and green, and that's what I wanted. I wanted some green, and I checked my my little O-rings that are on the screws, and the O-rings look good. But I want to come back here, and remember how I had to loosen this one up? I'm going to have to put a little bit of pressure on it to tighten it back up. And we're also going to have to do the same thing with the top one. Have to put a little bit of pressure on it to tighten it back up. And when I get done with that, and all you hear there is just our lower unit going back down into place, and that cylinder, that high pressure cylinder and everything. But we got everything done. Now we're just going to let it sit, wipe everything down, and make sure that there are no leaks.